Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I have an interesting video to share with you. I wanted to talk to you about the Chanel Classic Flat Bag and whether or not it truly is a good investment. Now, I've heard a lot of people talk about either wanting to purchase a Chanel Classic Flat Bag or having already purchased a Chanel Classic Flat Bag and calling it a good investment. And as a handbag enthusiast, I understand what they mean, and I wouldn't be surprised if I've used those words in the past as well. Chanel tends to hold their value very well on the pre-loved market, so I think that's what most people are referring to when they say good investment. However, I think that when we talk about investments, we really need to take on an investor mindset, right? And I had shared a video with you a few months ago talking about LVMH and whether or not it made sense to purchase their stock and become a shareholder if you were already a consumer of their brands and their products. And a lot of you seem to really find that video interesting, so I thought I'd do a similar type of video on Chanel and really talk about whether or not this is where you want to park your money. Now, if you're purchasing a classic flat bag because you absolutely love the bag itself, the history behind the brand, the look and the aesthetic of the bag, all of the above, then absolutely I say go for it and just purchase the bag, make the splurge, and enjoy it because life is meant to be enjoyed. But if you are rationalizing it because you think it's a good investment, I would say maybe think twice. So here I have a chart which is very interesting, and I want to give credit to the source. I pulled this from the Bag Hunters website, and it just quickly shows you a snapshot of the price increases of the classic flat bags. So it's crazy to see now, but when the bag was first introduced in 1955, it cost only $220. Now, in today's money, if you say $220 for a Chanel bag of any kind, you think, wow, that's crazy cheap. That's even cheaper than the cost of a small SLG. But $220 back in the day was a lot of money. So this was a luxury item for those folks back in 1955, just as the Chanel Classic Flap is a luxury item for many of us today. If you consider inflation, the value of $220 back in 1955 is equivalent to about $2,120 today. So I don't know about you, but $2,000 some odd dollars is not a little bit of money. It is still a substantial amount of money to spend on a handbag. So I just wanted to give you that as a frame of reference. Also, it's interesting because if you look at just pure inflation, I just told you that the bag would technically cost $2,120 roughly. But that is obviously not how much the classic flap costs today, new from the boutiques. If you look at this chart, the prices have just skyrocketed, and this chart only goes up to 2016, and it goes to the $4,900 price. But today, the medium large classic flap goes for $5,800. So depending on which city you live in, with taxes, that's going to bring you into the ballpark of $6,000 or more. Especially in New York, you're definitely going to pay more than $6,000. And for those of you who followed my whole Chanel journey from my previous videos, you know that I did actually purchase a couple of brand new classic flaps, and I did pay that crazy amount of money from the boutiques, but unfortunately I wound up returning them because they had issues in terms of quality and craftsmanship. So I went ahead and actually found this beauty, which is a vintage piece, 6 series that I purchased pre-loved. It's 20 years old. I got it at a really reasonable price, and it's at a really, really good quality. I think it's in pristine condition. You may have seen this in some of my previous videos. I will give you a close-up just for some eye candy because I know it can get a little dull listening to my voice the whole time and not having much to see. And we are talking numbers here, so I just want to keep your interest. So there she is. I'm very happy with her. I'm probably more happy with her just because she is a vintage and the quality is amazing, and also because I know I didn't get ripped off. The price was pretty good. Okay, still obviously very expensive for a handbag, but not nearly as expensive as the brand new prices in the boutiques. Okay, so why then, if with inflation the bag would technically cost only $2,000 some odd dollars, why then is it actually closer to $6,000. Well, obviously Chanel has raised their prices beyond inflation, and that could be for a variety of reasons. It could simply be because they can. They have the power to do that because there's clearly enough demand to drive the supply of what they're offering. Also, it could be that just in general, the cost of materials, the cost to hire the craftsmen, the workers has gone up over the years. Everything has gone up over the years, so Chanel may be passing that along to its consumers in terms of, the prices. So whatever the case may be, we're talking close to $6,000 for this bag, brand new. Now, back in 2010, this exact bag in lambskin would have cost $2,850, and the caviar was actually a little bit cheaper. It was $2,600. So for those of you who are not super familiar with the history of the Chanel pricing, up until about 2010, 2011-ish, the caviar and the lambskin classic flaps were priced differently. The lambskins were a little bit more expensive than the caviars. Then around 2011, Chanel decided to match the pricing, and so now if you purchase a classic flat bag, whether it be caviar or lambskin, you will pay the same price. So again, that current price of $5,800 in the US retail. But let's say 10 years ago, instead of purchasing a Chanel classic flat bag, you put it into the stock market. And I'm going to be talking about the stock market because if we look at other investment options like Bitcoin, I think that's just too new, and I'm not actually not that knowledgeable about Bitcoin currency. Or any kind of cryptocurrency. We could also talk about real estate, but I do think that real estate is very tricky because it varies by geography, and obviously the value or the market increases of, let's say, a condo in New York City is going to vary wildly from, let's say, a house in rural Alabama. So I think that's just a little bit too difficult of an exercise to go through, but the stock market is the stock market, especially if we're just looking at the US stock market, right? So we're going to stick to that as a comparison, but here it's interesting because what it says on this site is value has only ever increased since 1955. We know that's true. Rapid value increase of over 70%, since 2010. Okay, that's pretty crazy. And then it says it has outperformed housing prices, has outperformed S&P 500, but then it says in last 6 years. Do you see that? Which is a really important caveat, and I'm going to talk about that in a minute. And then it says other Chanel bags have similar value increase and further value increase expected in 2016. Well, we already know that because it's now 2020 and the price has gone up even further. So yes, this chart is pretty accurate. And I do appreciate that they put that caveat here in terms of the outperforming of this S&P 500 piece. It says in the last 6 years. Yes, in the last 6 years that may be true, but if you're investing in the stock market, you should really be looking at a long time horizon, and 6 years is a blip. It's very, very short. If you look at the stock market, it's just a crazy up and down roller coaster, but if you stretch it out over 20, 30, 40, 50 years, then it's more like gentle waves. So you really are trying to ride out those waves, and if you believe in the US economy, even with all the craziness that's going on right now, if you believe that the US economy will be strong and still standing for years to come, then the stock market is where you want to park your money. And I'm not talking about gambling and just picking stocks and trying to time the market and buying and selling. And that to me is really gambling and game playing. And unless you have insider information or you are some kind of genius, it's very hard to make money that way. I'll just be very honest with you. I'm not a financial professional, so that is my full-on disclaimer. But having been invested in the stock market for about 20 years now, I will say through lots of trial and error, if you think that you can time the market and you have these hot stock picks, unless you're, again, super lucky, super genius, or you've got some illegal insider information, it's nearly impossible to do, which is why a lot of the fund managers cannot beat out the index. So the index is the kind of like a basket of the largest US stocks, and it's sort of like it's like a basket. It's a mix of the top US companies in the S&P 500. So that's what I would recommend. That is what I would recommend to both early or new beginner investors, and that is also what I would recommend to more sophisticated investors, because unless you're going to get really fancy with some of the tricks and tools that are available to you and do options trading and different kinds of things, if you're strictly sticking to just stock trading basics, then the index fund gives you the diversification. It gives you the peace of mind because you can just park it in there and leave it for years. That is your money for retirement, for your future, for your nest egg, etc. So I won't harp on that too much, but I have received a lot of questions ever since my LVMH video where I talked about consumer mindset versus investor mindset. And I got questions around, what do I invest in? Now, I do have a few, just a handful of individual stocks, such as LVMH, that I believe in, and so I do invest in those. But for the vast majority of my money, it's parked in index funds. And I think the Vanguard Index Fund is great. I know some people are invested in the Fidelity Index Fund and some in the Charles Schwab. But index funds are supposed to, by definition, have a diversified portfolio of the top US companies, and they're all supposed to have very, very, very low costs associated. So you would be saving a lot more money investing in an index fund on your own versus paying a broker and paying commission fees and paying transaction fees. So I will leave it at that. Hopefully that has answered some of the basic questions that have come in over the last few months. I didn't want to leave that dangling because I know you guys are really interested in either getting started in investing or just sort of polishing up your investing strategy. And I wanted to at least share that tidbit. Okay, so let's go back to, if you had not purchased this bag in 2010 for the $2,850 that it was for the lambskin, and instead you parked it in an index fund in the stock market, right? Then it's interesting to see this because over the last 10 years, the S&P 500 index fund has returned an average of 10% returns per year, which would equate to about $7,500 today. So you put in $2,850, and if you needed to or you had to take out the money today, it would be worth approximately $7,500. That is including the dips, all the ups and downs and the highs and lows. The stock market has gone through a lot during 9/11, during the mortgage crisis. Currently, it's going through a lot of ups and downs with what's happening today. But that is the economy. That is the U.S. market. It will go up and down, which is why, again, you need to look at a long time horizon. That is so, so important. So $7,500 is definitely more than the cost of the Chanel Classic Flap. Now, if you think you could sell this bag for $7,500 or more on the pre-loved market, no, that's not going to happen. I have scoured the pre-loved market, and yes, there are some crazy prices for even really old and used bags, but nowhere near $7,500. So is this a good investment compared to plopping your money into the stock market and letting it ride? No, from a pure financial standpoint, it is not, because it doesn't even come close to the current value of this bag. Also, you have to keep in mind, you'd probably have to keep the bag in absolute pristine condition, perhaps with the full set, meaning the dust bag, the box, the authenticity card, in order to retain most of its value. If you've used it, you've enjoyed it, you've lost the box, what have you, then you're definitely not going to get the full money back. Now, I enjoy this bag. I love this bag. I think it's a beautiful, iconic bag. And if you are purchasing a Chanel Classic Flap bag because of your own personal reasons, then more power to you. If you have saved and you can afford it and you want to enjoy this, yes, life is meant to be enjoyed. And I do think that there is some pleasure in surrounding yourself with a few items that bring you just frivolous joy. And for us handbag enthusiasts, this could be it. But please, please don't psych yourself out and thinking that this is a great investment. Could you get your money back? Yes, potentially, especially if you keep it for a longer period of time and Chanel increases their prices more and more and more over the years. Yes, you could probably get your full money back, or maybe make a little bit more. So in that case, you could see it as an investment, but it's really not fair or accurate to call it an investment, right? Because as we just went through, if you were to park your money elsewhere, you'd really make some money. Your return would be much higher. So hopefully that makes sense. I know this information can be a little bit dense, but I'm trying to make it light and just, easy to digest. And I'm only making this video because it seemed like there was quite a lot of interest in understanding the financial side of brands and the financial side of just investing and money management. And frankly, it's one of my passions. I know that you guys know I love handbags, but even before handbags, when I was super young, I was all about saving, investing, piggy banks, having jobs, buying and reselling things for a higher value, all kinds of fun stuff like that. And I don't know where that comes from, but yes, that is definitely a passion of mine, especially empowering women to take charge of their money and really kind of equip ourselves with the confidence and the knowledge to make smart money decisions. I think that's really, really important, especially for the modern day women with all that's going on. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I'm not saying that it's not worth getting a Chanel Classic flap, because then why do I have one? What I'm saying is just be careful in how you consider this as an investment. I think it's just a bag. It's a beautiful bag. It's an item. It's a product. It's materialistic. If you will enjoy it and love it and cherish it for however many years, great. If you can flip it and sell it when you're sick of it or you're done with it, great. But don't call it an investment, because you could really be putting your hard-earned money somewhere else and getting a good return. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Please give this video a thumbs up if you did, just so I know. I'd love your comments down below. I think it would just be a really interesting dialogue to have, and I just want your honest thoughts and opinions and even questions. And if you are new to my channel, I hope you consider subscribing, because we do have a lot of fun here, and I will see you next time. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.